So, had a request for some additional Titan team selection videos. I'm here in my main right now where I have the luxury of a plethora of options from which to choose. I actually have Titan teams pre-built and I update them as I put additional heroes fully leveled into my roster. So I've got Purple Titan, and you'll see on each of my Titan teams I have Wilbur and Mickey. The only time I change those out excuse me, is if it's a rare Titan that's either red or blue. So I kind of get boned on blue rare Titans because Mickey's by far my best damage booster. I don't even have Wu fully leveled. So for a Purple Titan, I also have Jackal, who gives a 54% defense reduction against holy tiles and specials. And so that further weakens a Purple Titan, which is already weak against yellow. And then I have Poseidon and Drake. I also have White Rabbit fully leveled, but his defense down is redundant with Wilbur. And Wilbur's is a little better than, well, it's not actually, but it's still redundant. So I'd rather have, Poseidon does a little more damage, I think. So maybe I'll check into that. But so I'm pretty much going for, one thing to consider is tile damage. I have Gwen with 16 emblems on her, but her attack stat isn't quite as good. You can see I've got Drake with 802, 765 on a 4-star, which is great. But yeah, if I wanted to switch White Rabbit in or Gwen, I could, but you can see her tile damage is only 669, so she's not going to do as much. And her special really isn't that useful against Titans. 731 for White Rabbit. Once I get June up, I'll probably switch him in his costume in for Poseidon. So that's my purple team. For yellow, again, Wilbur and Mickey. I've got Ursina for obvious reasons. Her tile damage is solid. She also has the Reflect against, when her special's up, holy specials get reflected back. Sashat, mostly again for tile damage, but in the event that a buff is cast on the Titan, she'll also dispel it. Her mana speed's also fast, and Victor's very fast with high tile damage, and does a little bit of DOT, but his special is not really what I've got him in here for. It's for tile damage. I do have, again, some other options, but Regard actually might not be a bad one to switch in because of his attack boost. I have had him up for a little bit, but sometimes I just forget to look at my heroes. So in place of Victor, he might be good because of the 48 attack boost, even though he only has 633 tile damage. And outside of that, I've got Kunshin with emblems on him, but his attack is weak, as you can see. And I've got Boss Wolf all the way up, also with abysmally weak attack. So those two are essentially wasted on Titans. Red Titan, nice because I get the extra blue hero. I could also switch Aegir in for Wilbur if I wanted to, with damage share on him, because I have a little bit of defense up here. Aegir also gives defense up, but neither Aegir nor Kirill gives defense down on the Titan. Vela is definitely getting swapped in here pretty soon. In fact, I should have done that already for Allays, I think. Alice's special is handy against a Titan because it's attack down, but her tile damage is 868, which is pretty high. Carol's isn't good, but you get the 30% attack, 30% defense, which stacks with Mickey's. And, whoops. Alay's is, I had her for tile damage, 739. I think it's about time to switch Vela in for. That's what happens when I don't update my Titan teams often enough. So, because Vela's special is going to be great, 34% attack reduction on a Titan, and it deals extra damage, and it gives all ice allies a 10% crit chance. So I've been missing out on some pretty good damage against red Titans up until now. So, then blue Titans, I have Heimdall as another solid green. I haven't actually checked his attack stat. He's a tank, so it's probably not great, but Telluria is it's not a great attack, but she just adds a degree of survivability, which the higher you get on Titans, the better that is. She also gives the crit chance to nature allies, so that's really the most useful part. And her tile damage kind of sucks, but that crit chance makes up for it. Leah, she's got high attack, not stupid high, but still high, and she's got a nice Nuki special. And Kingston's attack reduction and good tile damage, very good tile damage, and mana gen for allies, nature allies, is all great. So those are all solid greens. The other ones I have are, they're not as useful. Hatter's tile damage is pretty good, but Margaret, once I finish her up, she'll likely go on my Titan team, because she's only at 370, and her tile damage gets pretty high. So I would switch her in place of Liana. Or maybe even Telluria, but it depends on whether or not I can find another place for that crit chance. Heimdall's attack stat actually isn't too bad. And he gives a 30% attack buff, so he might actually be worth putting in place of Liana. In fact, I think I will. His tile damage isn't that much less than hers, and he adds some survivability as well. Oops. So that was Blue Titan. Green Titan, again, it's nice because I have the extra red hero because of Wilbur. Guardian Falcon, his attack damage, tile damage sucks, but that 54% reduction against fire is really useful, obviously. And then Zimkeitha and Black Knight just have great tile damage, and they both have a significant amount of emblems on them. So, where the hell are they? Well, we'll do Black Knight first since he's right here. Black Knight's, misspoke about Black Knight's tile damage. It's his 45% attack and further increase that makes him most useful. His taunt is obviously nice against Titan specials, but I primarily use him for the attack increase. Zimkeitha is primarily for tile damage, and it never hurts to have a cleanse. Her tile damage is good and high, though, as you can see. Her attack boost is redundant with Black Knight, so I may end up sacrificing some of his, or some attack boost just to put a hero with higher tile damage on it. in place of Black Knight. Like, I don't remember what his is going to be, but his is already better. And so he'll likely go on once I finish him up. Other options I have, I'm working on Elena, who's got ridiculously high tile damage, especially for a tank. You can see she's only at 433 with 735, but her attack gets up there pretty high. Queen of Hearts, you may as well put Black Knight on there in terms of equivalent tile damage and the taunt. So, but right now this is what I'm sticking with until I max out some additional reds. And so that's it for my main. And I'll do one here coming up on my mini account where I don't have the luxury of the as deep of a roster as I have here. So stay tuned.